Good day, everyone. Today, I'm going to give you further detail about Unit 3 test. I recently posted a video about things, but at the end of the 9 weeks, I gave you some good information about the test. So now I'm just going to give you some more detail on it. Alright, reminders and update. This week, you all must come to school. You have to come to school. There's so much going on. If you miss, there's no room for makeup work. Can't give you makeup work. You gotta be there presently to do your stuff. All right? So make sure you get that done in a timely manner. All right, next. There's some IXL stuff that I have posted in your IXL account for y'all to do. I'm gonna give y'all some more time to get this done by Friday morning at 7 a.m. If it's not done, it's OV. I don't want to hear it. Make sure you get yourself together. Also, finish your test errors. So your test scores, you guys already got them. Please work on them. Finish your, test mistakes. Get that done. All right. Again, the end of the 9 weeks is on the 14th. Y'all, please don't come see me outside your class period again. Do not come see me at other class period time. Don't. So you come knocking at my door. You don't belong to me at that period. I will not respond to you. All right. So just keep going. So let me say this. Do not come if not your class. Because I know how you kids like to gang up and like to come harass teachers outside of the class period to ask about grades. Don't do it because I'm not going to respond to you. All right? The only thing I got left to do is input these quiz grades in as is what it's going to be. All right, this week again is very, very, very busy. So, this is what you're going to do in class. You're going to study for 1 hour alone. 30 minutes, you could do it in groups, but I need that 1 hour of you trying to figure things out because this is not, your grade is not based on teamwork. I want you guys to get that through your head. Because I know every time you want, every time an assignment is given, oh, can we work on together? Can we do it together? It's like, why do that? Your grade is not a together grade. You can't work, with somebody think y'all gonna have the same grade. It's not gonna work that way. So you gotta stop, work alone. And then the rest of that class period, 30 minutes, is in groups, by all means. No phones is allowed. It's against the law, y'all. Please don't do it. Don't be on your phones. Put your phones up. Outside, out of mind. If I don't see it, I got no problem with it. Put it up. To my ladies, you should not be having your phone in your little private area. Put it up. You got a purse, you got a pocket. If you don't have either, Miss Sarah, hey, can you take my phone and put it in your desk and let me get it back at the end of the class? That's not a problem. I'll do that for you. But one thing I'm not going to do is, be cool with these phones. Many of you guys are fun because y'all doing it with these phones. But what's going to happen is now you may get written up over it. I don't want to write no one up. I try not to use referrals unless it is to the last result. But if it becomes a phone situation, documented, that's it. So, all right, just for a reminder, you got two versions of Desmos you're gonna have on your ACT, and you had it on every test since we started testing. All right, the unit test, the tips and the secrets. I want you to go fully understanding what to do, what not to do on your test. All right, I already told you you have to factor algebraically. I showed you shortcuts on how to use decimals to get your factoring. I did show you that. But on your test, you have to know how to factor by grouping. You have to factor trinomials, and you have to factor sum and difference of cubes. You gotta know how to do that, not only through decimals, but you have to do it algebraically. Again, algebraically, that means doing everything by steps. Know your unit circle and the Pythagorean, all that trick stuff we've been talking about. You should have good knowledge of that. System of equations. You should know how to do that. That's some ISS stuff for you. Characteristics of functions. Exponential logarithms, which is going to be the bulk of the test, which is exponentials and logarithms. The precise definition of mathematics and people. And don't forget, at minimum, I will put at least 20 questions. Of course, it's going to be possibly much more than that, but at minimum 20. All right, test questions. I may pull some from my Excel. Few from the review test. Few could be one or two questions. Most of them are going to come from my mind. You won't never know. So I'm just telling you this now. So there's going to be some different form of factor in there. You're like, I never done this in class. You have. I just put it in a different format that you never seen before. But I'm testing your ability to recognize all the components factoring that I have taught you throughout the year. Explanatory stuff. You have to explain your work. Yes, this is still going to be a explanatory test. Explain everything you have done. I'm going to have to look at that. There are going to be some questions where I just want to answer. I want nothing else but the answer. And then there's going to be a multi-part question, so it could be a combination of multi-piece to an explanatory piece or a multi-piece to give me an answer type of question. All right. All right. I excel. Again, I have assigned IXL to y'all since Thursday. Some of you have been working real hard, been getting it done, but the majority of you now realize that if this is not done by the end of this week, it's going to hurt you buku. It's going to hurt you a lot. This IXL stuff is going to be worth a whopping 75 points. Okay? 75 points. That's how much it's worth for you to get it done. 75. All right. Simplifying expression involving rational exponents. This must be complete, meaning that you have gotten some type of congratulations, you did well on it kind of thing. So you have to have more than just those two ribbons. So this must be done. So this gotta be done. And any of these ISL topics that I am marking, these are things that you must complete with 100%. Classify a system of equations, that's gotta be done. Reference angles, that must be done too. So these are three things that gotta be done so far. Converting between radians and degrees, you must get that situated. Even in all functions, you must complete that. Domain and range of polynomials, you must complete that. Matching polynomials and graphs, you also have to complete that. These are things that you have to have complete by Friday. All right. So, special angles of cosecant, secant, and cotangent, you must complete that. Sine, cosine, tangent, special angles must be complete. Inverse of cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Hmm, you don't necessarily have to complete that with a certificate. However, I need to see two. Give me 1 second. Two ribbons. You must get those. You must get that with two ribbons. Pythagorean theorem and its converse must be complete 100%. So if it's not highlighted that what I'm going over, it must have two ribbons, unless I specifically say, hey, don't touch it. Again, all these you will do. All right. Now, some I won't complete. Some I just want to see you get it to two ribbons so you can move on. All right. The following must be done with full completion. Describing the function and its transformation, you must complete that. Functions of transformation rules, complete that. Compound interest, you must complete that in its entirety. Identify functions, that is you doing two ribbons. Once you get your two ribbons, go ahead and move on. All right, factor in polynomials. Hmm. Yeah, because you got to get your factoring skills together. That's essential. So complete that. Because again, you're going to advanced math, all of you. You have to, have that down to a science. Find properties of sine and cosine functions. Complete that. Inverse of sine and cosine tangent and radians. Complete that. Inverse of sine, cosine, tangent, and degrees. Complete that. So all this must be complete. Trig ratios, cosecant, secant, cotangent. Complete that. Trigonometry ratios, sine, cosine, tangent. Complete that. System of equation by graphing word problems. I do want you to do that. So go ahead and complete that. Compare ratios word problems. I should need two ribbons of that. System of equations and inequality. Complete that. Powers of I need two ribbons. Once you get the two ribbons, move on. Complex conjugates, two ribbons. Add, subtract, multiply, divide complex numbers, two ribbons. Once you get to two ribbons, you can move on to other things. These three things, they're going to be something that we're going to practice and practice and practice because you got to know this to advance math. Domain and range are logarithmic functions. because the majority of the test is logarithmic, guess what? An exponential that's there. Factor the sum of cubes. You definitely gotta do that because that's on my test. Factor by grouping, you must do that. Factor in quadratics, you must do that. Factor out a monomial. I want you to do that in a way. Factor properties of sine functions, do that. Find conditional probabilities. I'm gonna put X because you don't need to do that right now. So don't do conditional probabilities. But calculate probabilities of an event. I want you to do. Cause you guys should know it, but do it in a way. All right. Eval logarithms. Do that. Convert between exponential and logarithmic forms. Do that. Convert between natural exponent and logarithmic forms. Do that. Convert between exponential and logarithmic form with rational basis. Do that. Exponential growth and decay. I want you to do that. Exponential functions over unit intervals. Do that. Exponential functions graph. Do that. Graph exponential functions. Do that too. Write exponential functions with word problems. Do that. Evaluate exponential functions. Do that. Domain range exponential functions. Do that. Identify graphs. Word problems. I want you to do that. Complete a table for a functional graph. Do that. Find the values used in functional graphs. Do that. Evaluate functions. Do that. Domain range. I want you to do that. Trig ratio using the unit circle. Yes, do that. Find trig ratio using reference angles. Do that. Simplify expression using rational exponents. Do that. Power rule. I want you to do that. Division with rational exponents. Do that. Multiplication with rational exponents. Do that. Convert between rational exponents and radicals. Do that. And evaluate rational exponents. Do that. And find the inverses. I'm going to do all of that. Remember, you go in what order you want. So when you're doing IXL, it's whatever you choose to do by yourself. You have 1 hour of independent work. Do it by yourself. All right? And then you got, after that 1 hour, then you could do it the 30 minutes in groups if you choose to. In this next example are the do's and don'ts for the written responses part for the test. Now, when you do your test, here's a do. So here's a question that was on your test too, right? As I have told you guys, in order for you guys to get credit for this, your explanations must match the math you have done. So this student talked about how he solved this equation. This student talked about prime factorization, which was incredible. The student explained the whole goal of prime factorization. The student did the prime factorizations and rewrote everything out. The student explained everything and showed the mathematics. So everything that was done was through everything that was written was also done mathematically. This student's explanation made good sense, and that's why this student, got, you know, almost full credit. There was a few mathematical mistakes, but because the student wrote out the the thought process of solving the problem, explained it in detail, showed good enough math, the student got a lot of points from this. Again, the student messed up by not distributing the 5x minus 5, so that's what he or she struggled at. So 5x minus 5. Oh no, let me take that back. Actually, the student got it right. I'm tripping. Because you look at it, the student did do that. Good. The student did. And the student solved for x. I was very proud of that student. So look, this is how you do the work. On these responses, this is what I'm looking for. And he did my 3 dots at the end too, showcasing his final answer. I told you guys how to do this. Make sure you're following what I'm telling you to do. If you choose not to, hey, it is what it is at this point. The don'ts. Do not, do not, in these responses, just give me an answer. Don't do this. So the student was given an equation, the student just gave me -2. Where did -2 come from? Your goal is to prove to me that you deserve to pass the class. When you do this, you're not showing me enough proof that, hey, I deserve to pass the class. Because you're not showing me the work. You're not showing me what you're being taught. So do not do this on your test. If I say show all your work and explain your reasoning, it is exactly as I stated. Explain your work in words and show all your mathematical work. Do the math, write the sentences to match the math you've done. If you can't do that, you will not pass this test or pass this class. Okay, this student only answered a part of the question. The student answered A. Don't do that, y'all. Because what about part B and C? Although the student part A is incorrect, I did give that student some points because the question what was answered. But B and C, have the student answer B and C, the student would have got more points. It is essential and important for you guys to answer everything. And don't use Mr. I tried or I don't know. That's not going to work. IDK means I don't know about your grade. Do not leave it blank. So some of you guys got to have a leave things blank. Don't do that. And definitely do not commit academic dishonesty. This is a fine example of academic dishonesty that I talked about. So find the obvious characteristic of this function. Make sure you explain every step. The obvious characteristic is a rational function with a vertical asymptote of x equals -3/2. Okay? And a whole at -1. A whole? I never taught you guys a whole. So when you use some vocabulary that was never taught in class, like a whole, that's how I know you committed academic dishonesty right there. Because no student, you know, do math to a high level like that. None of you guys do not. It's not, no teenagers is going to do that. They're going to use the notes that they got, and that's just that. But again, I know during the test, sit down and it may look like I'm not watching y'all, but I'm watching y'all like a hawk. Now, I usually, in the past, tell kids, hey, you gotta go. You could commit academic dishonesty. But I don't do that because that's going to disrupt other people who are taking the test. And I'm not trying to deal with that kind of drama. So what I do, I sit there, I watch you, and I just play dumb with you. And then I'll let you finish your test. And then I'll just give you a zero after the fact, or I already give you the zero and you don't realize I gave you a zero. Now, if you just blatantly doing it, like I had one student who thought it was okay to go Google answers on the computer, full well, you know, parents gonna tell me about it. It's no point, y'all. Don't do it. Don't cheat. I'ma know. This is a fine example. Don't have your phones out. Ladies, put your phones up again. Do not put them between your legs. Do not put them in your privates. Let's not do that. So there. Now y'all know what to do to prepare for your test. Y'all know what to do on open response and what not to do.